98 Not Out, sponsored by Shepherd Neame, proud supporters of cricket in Essex.
So we are really pleased to say joining us on the line is the captain of the champions, Joe Ellis-Grewal. Joe, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks very much for having me on. How are you guys?
All right. We always like to have... We had Aaron West sat here last year, but his phone was switched off this year for obvious reasons.
Shame.
So a great day Saturday, a good one. And what a way to end the season, a sort of top of the table, all or nothing clash at Brentwood.
Yeah, no, it was. It's funny how these fixtures work out. I mean, I think we've had sort of Brentwood and Hornchurch last couple of years, so whoever's putting those together certainly likes a tight end of season finish. But no, look, I mean, I think to be fair, we were the two best sides in the leagues this year, and it was real nice to go over there and win at their place. I don't think we've won there for sort of 3 or 4 years, so it was nice to go over there and get the title on the last day of the season.
Joe, with everything that was gone on, did you actually think you was going to get any cricket at any point?
I'm always the optimist, so we were very hopeful, and you know I've always been a big advocate for the Essex League. I think it's run really, really well. You know, I saw sort of reports of other leagues cancelling their seasons right from the off, but you know our league kept us up to date the whole time. They were really committed to getting us a competitive season in, and I think that was the key. You know, across the whole league, making sure it was competitive. I think friendlies can be hard for a lot of guys when they're used to playing, you know, real top-level Premier League cricket. So, you know, it was a real credit to the league to, I think, by the time we got the OK to start playing again, they'd had a whole brand new league structure within a week and we're good to go from the week after. So, you know, it was really great to get the season in that we had.
Tom over at the league works really hard, doesn't he? I mean, I spoke to him a few times this year about... his plans and whatever else, and even trying to get him to come on here, but you know, he's been working flat out. So it's good that you highlight that.
No, absolutely. You know, the committee is just not a full-time cricket committee. You know, these guys, as do you know all us captains and people who are committed to our cricket clubs, we have full-time jobs, and you know we do this for our enjoyment. And you know, I think it's a credit to the guys at league how well it's run. I think you know the way it's been run for years is great, and the formats that we play and the standard at the top, and you know hopefully it can continue progressing and keep being sort of one of the top Premier Leagues in the country.
You obviously had a couple of Essex, along with yourself, some Essex boys featuring Kishan Villani. You obviously had all season, and Robin Das, who's certainly a future talent, appears to be heading that way. They were both really helpful for you, weren't they, during the season?
Yeah, look, they're both phenomenal players, and I think you know we obviously have lost a couple of big players the last year, which is always a shame. But you know, some of our young talent that's come through has just been great. It's really given those guys a chance to shine. I mean, you know, I think very few will disagree with me in saying that Kishan's by far the best batter in the league, and you know, he's just so talented. He's done it for so long. You know, it was a real shame for him last year. I think he was going to have another crack at trialling round, and he did his ACL right at the start of the season, so he missed all of the season right apart from the last 2 or 3 games. And you know, this year was just great to have him back. He's a real good club man, wants it through and through him. Then you've got Robin Das as well, who you know he trains so hard. We always take the mickey out of Jonathan Das. They're training at 9-10 o'clock at night in the dark, and he's side-arming in balls at his head. But you know, he absolutely loves playing, and he loves training. You know, and he just wants to do as well as he can. And it's great to see him getting the results. You know, you just look at the scores he's getting, and it's a great note to young guys that you know if you work hard and get your head down, then the rewards will come.
And got to talk about the strength of the club, because you've been putting out 5 sides every Saturday, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we've had 6 teams out now for the last sort of 7 or 8 years. Which is unbelievable, on top of sort of a women's team as well that plays, and all the juniors have always been strong junior-wise. But this year, I think we were lucky. You know, I know a lot of cricket clubs have struggled out there, but we've had our strongest availability for I can't remember when. You know, we've had guys playing in the 5th and 6th team who normally play in the 3s and 4s, and I think this whole you know COVID thing has got people actually back playing. You know, in our situation, people who've been locked up for so long and can't maybe spend their weekends how they normally spend them actually want to come back and be part of the cricket club again. So you know, for us it's been great. It's been a really good environment. I think obviously we won the league, but our 2s won the league. The 3s missed out by a point, and the 5th 11 won the league with 2 games to go.
Wow.
So it was a real strong showing from the club, and there's again, I know a lot of clubs out there have struggled, but for us in any case, it's actually been a decent year for us.
I think it's a good point you make about this year's been a good opportunity, and I've seen this from sort of going and watching cricket around the grounds this season, is that you've seen a lot of youngsters stepping up and taking their chances. Anyone at Wanstead that we should be sort of making a note of and looking out for next season, or sort of the Colts or the youngsters breaking through?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've obviously highlighted Robin Das there, and we also had Ishan Kali join us from Old Parks this year. And he was a fantastic asset. He's an opening bowler. He can bowl, really good speeds, great skills with the ball, and he's also a really useful batter. The week before he put on over 100 with myself and sort of got 70 odd, almost 70 odd in the end.
Wow.
And then I think third, he's a year younger than them, is Navi Dwivedi, who he was a hero on the last day of the season. He's only 17 and he got 54 not out, I think, to win us the game when we were 120 for 6. And he's one of those guys who maybe doesn't get the plaudits that some of the other guys do, playing all the the Essex age groups and the Essex 2 stuff. But he's really sort of been noticed by Essex this year. And
we've just given him our Premier League Player of the Week award. So yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sure he'll be pleased to hear that. I'll let him know. And so again, he's another one to really watch out for.
I feel we should point out there's no actual award and no prize to go with it. It's just we name him.
The kudos. The kudos
will be in it.
I'm sure him and his dad will manufacture something, and I can present it with him in the coming weeks. I would put it past him.
Perfect.
I was going to ask you about. This has been a bit of a funny old season for many obvious reasons, but have you found the format? Do you think do you view the 40 over format as a one-off given the circumstances, and next year, if things are hopefully back to a more normal situation, that we return to how it was before, or do you think stick with the 40 overs?
So I've always been a big advocate for the mixed formats. And I think actually as a Premier League especially, a lot of the teams really enjoy the all-day cricket. I think for me personally, I'm always biased as a spin bowler, but I think playing those sorts of timed games where you need to bowl sides out to win, or you end up with men around the bat, I think it goes a long way to developing young cricketers. I mean, I learned personally by playing in the third 11 and bowling 15, 20 overs a week, and in the second 11 and in the fifth 11, and that's how I learned. I'm always worried for, especially bowlers. I think, batters are still going to get to spend time in the middle, but I think especially bowlers, 8 overs isn't very long for you to get into a spell, and if then that's reduced to limited overs cricket, I think especially if you're talking about spin bowlers, which is obviously always at the height of, the top level cricket discussions, I feel like in an 8 over spell with a pink ball, are you going to be able to develop any attacking young spinners whose job is to come on in the middle over and go at 5 and over? I'm not so sure. And I think probably thirdly is that the mix of the formats gives, let's say, some of those, lower teams in the ladder a chance to actually compete with, some of the stronger teams. When you do get a real mismatch in these 40 over games, after, we've scored 300 and the opposition are 10 for 2, it's game set match for the next 35 overs.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, there's something nice about the captain and the bowling side is putting a score on the board and then having to rotate your bowlers, have some unique fielding positions, and it's a great feeling to take 10 wickets. You ask any professional cricketer, a 4-day win is always much more enjoyable than a 1-day win or a T20 win. So, hopefully they stick with the formats that we've had. I think a lot of people commit to that, but, I'm sure they'll make the best decisions for everyone involved.
Joe, I noticed you didn't make the same mistake last season of bringing Arfan Akram back into the first 11.
He's too busy with Pakistan, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's obviously always a great man to have on your side, and has been great for me over the years. It's very amusing. So he was sort of around at the start, and then obviously he got the Pakistan job, which was great for him, and he had a really good time there, and he came back for the last 2 seasons, and he played in the second team, and he got a 5-ball duck. And then, as per Wanstead selection policy, got dropped to the thirds for the last game of the season.
Absolutely.
So actually, you had Arfan Akram in the frees, which is exactly how it should be done, in my opinion.
We love Arfan. We're big fans.
I imagine you must have a WhatsApp group, and he keeps putting selfies on there, does he?
Oh, of course. Anytime we saw him on the telly, there were pictures going round, and first game back, he had all his Pakistan stash on. We were joking, actually. We half expected him to sort of whack on a green pair of pads and gloves for the first game, but he didn't go that far. So no, look, he's everyone knows Arfie, and he's a great guy for the club and Essex cricket in general. So I'm sure I'll probably have to put an arm around him and say, there's still a bit of hope for you in the first 11 next season. Get your head down in the winter, but
I think you've just got to give him the truth and say his first 11 days are over.
Get in the twos. I think the twos second 11 vice captaincy is up for grabs, so maybe we can persuade him to go for that one.
Well, the debate I always love with him is he the best in his family? I
think he's third best. They've got an older brother, Rizwan, that never gets mentioned. He's a great player, and then
that's what
Adnan,
I mean.
You got Adnan as well.
Yeah.
So, it's lucky he was captain for 10 years. Otherwise, he would probably been out a while back. But no, great family.
Joe, thanks for taking the time to join us. Congratulations
Thanks
on winning the title, and you never know, it might be this time next year we're talking to you again.
Fingers crossed. Westie's phone switched off and I'm dialed in again. So thanks so much.
No worries. If they do a presentation or something at some point, hopefully we'll get along and we'll catch up with you all then.
No, that'd be great.
Well done. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.